Hey y'all, it's John Trent from Bounding Into Comics, and I've got some rumors concerning the upcoming Disney Plus show WandaVision for you today. Before we dive into these rumors, if you could please subscribe to the channel and make sure you are still subscribed if you've done so before. Thanks, I appreciate it. So let's get to this rumor. The rumor comes to us from an anonymous user on 4chan who claims to be working on WandaVision in Atlanta. They tell us the show will start out following the events of Avengers Endgame. Before I go any further, I do want to provide a little context. If you remember, one of the end scenes in Avengers Endgame is Hawkeye and Scarlet Witch discussing the loss of Black Widow and Vision. Hawkeye tells Scarlet Witch, quote, "You know, I wish there was a way to let her know that we won, that we did it." Scarlet Witch responds, she knows, they both do. The two of them then embrace in a hug. Well, apparently that understanding and serenity that Scarlet Witch expresses in that scene is going to go out the window for WandaVision. Somehow she will become, quote, depressed and homeless, end quote. The alleged anonymous leaker details that a woman named Agatha, played by Kathryn Hahn, quote, comes across Wanda and offers her a deal. Agatha could make a pocket dimension of the perfect world for Wanda as long as Wanda stays there forever. Wanda agrees. So Wanda's apparently on the streets homeless when this Agatha character, played by Kathryn Hahn, comes across her and offers her the deal of a lifetime. I don't know what to make of this. This type of retconning is not out of the ordinary, especially following Avengers Endgame. Captain America had previously moved on from Peggy Carter, but all of a sudden in Endgame, he decided to go back and spend an entire lifetime with her. That was after he was dating Sharon Carter in Captain America Civil War. Or at least he was showing some romantic vibes towards her. So it's definitely possible Scarlet Witch could become depressed and homeless despite having a network of superhero friends and seemingly being at peace with the loss of Vision following Avengers Endgame. Maybe this Agatha has some kind of power that messes with Scarlet Witch's mind, that breaks her and drives her into depression and homelessness in order to exploit her. Now that's something that I could buy. That would be much more interesting rather than her just falling into depression and becoming homeless after that kind of very serene scene between her and Hawkeye. But the alleged leak doesn't end there. In Wanda's perfect pocket dimension, the leaker calls it Wanda's perfect world, she and Vision have two twin babies, Wiccan and Speed, and Agatha appears as a, quote, noisy neighbor to keep an eye out on Wanda as she plans to kill her after the two babies grow up. And they grow up rather fast. Apparently they become adults or teenagers in the span of a week. It's unclear what age they actually mature to. The source does not say. As for Wiccan and Speed, you might not actually know who these characters are, especially if you haven't been following Marvel Comics in the past, I guess, decade and a half. The two are relatively new members, being a part of the Young Avengers team. They were both introduced in the Young Avengers series from Alan Heinberg and Jim Chung that debuted in 2005. Wiccan was introduced in the first issue, while Speed joined in Young Avengers number 10. Wiccan takes more after his mother with his mystic powers, whereas Speed takes after her brother Quicksilver and his speed abilities. It's quite possible these two characters will be introduced in the show. A previous leak from back in May indicated that Marvel Studios was working on a new Avengers film that would debut in 2022. That rumor indicated the film would actually feature the Young Avengers lineup, including Wiccan. So we might be seeing the next team of Avengers being introduced in a lot of these Disney Plus series. We already know that Ms. Marvel is definitely going to be introduced in her own series. So it's possible we might also see Wiccan and Speed if this leak holds up and the leak from back in May also holds up. WandaVision won't just be following Wanda in her pocket dimension. It will also feature FBI agent Jimmy Woo, played by Randall Park. You'll remember him from Ant-Man and the Wasp. He was kind of comedic relief, very small role. But yeah, I enjoyed his part. It's quite funny as the FBI agent who was in charge of Scott Lang and monitoring him and making sure he was not doing any superheroing during the Sokovia Accords. It looks like Randall Park, according to this leak, will be recruiting Kat Dennings' Darcy Lewis from the Thor films, and it's Tiona Paris, who will be playing an adult version of Monica Rambeau. They will apparently be assigned a case regarding Agatha. As they begin their investigation, the three are apparently drawn into the pocket dimension. The source doesn't provide any more details about this plotline. However, the leaker also noted the show will also feature a cameo from a CGI-aged Lashana Lynch as an older Maria Rambeau. Other cameos include Ultron using archive footage from Age of Ultron and Doctor Strange. The Ultron stuff makes complete sense. He was kind of like their almost like, I don't know, it felt like an adopted father figure almost for Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch during Age of Ultron, and then they eventually betray him when they figure out that he wants to murder everyone. So that's no surprise that they would feature archive footage of him or some kind of flashback or maybe something that we didn't see in Age of Ultron that might have been impactful to Scarlet Witch that they just didn't show us during Age of Ultron. So that makes sense. And Doctor Strange also makes sense. The leaker notes the final episode of the show will lead directly into the upcoming film, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. And it was confirmed that Scarlet Witch would have a role in Multiverse of Madness at San Diego Comic-Con. So that makes complete sense. They also provided some information on potential casting decisions. They note that Carol Burnett and Dick Van Dyke were offered cameo roles as an elderly couple in Wanda's Perfect World. That could be fun. Both of those are fantastic actors. Great with comedy. So that I'd actually be really interested in seeing that. Carol Burnett stuff is just still good today. They also indicated that Ben Barnes and Dominic West have been cast as, I'm going to butcher these names, Chthon and the Grim Reaper. Both of them work for Agatha and are tasked with killing Vision and their two children. On that point, we did hear from Ben Barnes recently that he has been talking to Marvel about a potential role. You might recognize Barnes because he played Jigsaw in the Punisher series on Netflix. He spoke to Digital Spy about his discussions with Marvel, and he said, quote, "I did talk to them about something this year, but it was a bit too close to doing the Punisher, I think, for them. But, you know, they have proof that you can, particularly if it was on TV, you can go back and do a movie if there's a character that's right." He added, "I was definitely talking about a couple of superheroes last year." He did indicate that it didn't work out. No, it didn't work out for whatever reason, but definitely there's still room for that in my future as long as they hurry up. I don't want to be a 50-year-old superhero. However, as we know, actors lie about their upcoming projects all the time. Ewan McGregor made that crystal clear when he revealed he had been lying about playing Obi-Wan Kenobi for 4 years. While it's definitely possible Barnes could get a role in the show, the bigger question is, why does Agatha want to kill Scarlet Witch, Vision, and their twins? The most prominent Marvel character with the name of Agatha is Agatha Harkness. She's an ancient witch who has been around the Marvel Universe for 500 years before Atlantis sunk to the bottom of the ocean. Not only is she ancient, but she's also a powerful witch, becoming the leader of the New Salem clan of witches. She would eventually become the governess of Franklin Richards, who is the extremely powerful mutant son of Reed and Sue Richards of the Fantastic Four. She would have a couple of key roles with the Fantastic Four. She's eventually challenged by her son, who has taken over the witch clan of New Salem, and the Fantastic Four have to kind of bail her out. And there's a lot of internal drama, and then she kind of takes back control of the New Salem after she deposes her son. She would also eventually help train Wanda in the use of her mystical powers, but only after she wiped Wanda's memory of her children and revealed they were actually fragments of the demon Mephisto's soul. So in 616 continuity, for you Marvel Comics fans out there, Wanda has these two kids in the House of M storyline, and they're actually, she says that they're fragments of the demon Mephisto's soul. Wanda would eventually confront Agatha about her children and kill her in cold blood. So that doesn't really give us an answer as to why Agatha would want to kill Scarlet Witch, Vision, and her two children in this Wanda's perfect world dimension that she brings her to. But it's possible they don't intend to use the main 616 version of Agatha Harkness. It's possible they intend to use the Ultimate Universe of Earth 1610. So in this universe, Harkness is a member of an ancient race of beings called the Tan-Ed-Drul. She's basically a seven-headed hydra that takes on human form. She manipulates the Fantastic Four as a S.H.I.E.L.D. psychiatrist in an attempt to jumpstart the replication process of her race. It's possible she intends to use Scarlet Witch's power to do something similar in WandaVision, or they could maybe reinvent the character and she needs to sacrifice the entire family in order to bring back her ancient race. That's just an idea that came to me. But I want to know, what do you make of this rumor? Why do you think Agatha would want to kill Wanda and her family? Let me know what your theories are in the comments. I'm really interested to know. And let me know if you're actually interested in seeing WandaVision. I think this is probably one of the more interesting Disney Plus shows that I'm interested in. The Scarlet Witch's story has always been intriguing to me, especially in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And I always want to see more Elizabeth Olsen on screen, of course. But yeah, let me know what you think and what you're interested in. My name is John Trent, and you've been watching Bounding into Comics. Until next time.